Let's go. Welcome back to Hawaii Real, everybody. I'm your host, Ioka Ehu, and this episode is brought to you by Hawaiian Springs Water, our beverage host. You can check out the link in the description below, where you can buy it straight off Amazon, have it delivered right to your home. Beautiful, epic, alkaline water, straight from Big Island. Straight from Big Island. Yeah, they take it right out of the mountain, just bottle it. They don't filter it or anything like that. Just boom.
You just made that.
No, serious.
Really?
Yeah, they have videos and stuff from their bottling plant. Pure mountain water. Yeah, it's more alkaline.
Okay.
Not acidic, so it can kind
I
of...
want to visit the source. I've never been to Big Island.
Never. Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
definitely do. Definitely do.
Okay.
Here we have our guest, real estate queen, Kelsey Charles.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. Really excited to be here.
Thank you so much for coming on, Kelsey.
Of course.
And you have a nice website, Kelsey Charles Hawaii,
KelseyCharlesHomes.com.
KelseyCharlesHomes.com. What is the other one?
Kelsey Hawaii.
Kelsey Hawaii.
More of a bio one.
Right.
Yeah. We're working on it.
So you want people to go to Kelsey Charles Homes.
Please.
That's the one with the purple
Yes.
ish logos and stuff like that.
Yes.
Yeah.
You looked me up.
And you have a YouTube channel, Kelsey Charles.
I do. Absolutely.
Very cool. So, bringing you on Hawaii Real.
Thank you.
Let's talk.
All right.
Well, let's start off. Where are you from?
I am from, do you want to guess?
Kentucky. No, I don't know.
Wisconsin.
Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Badger.
Yeah. Yep.
Okay.
I'm from Janesville, Wisconsin. I see the apologetic look on your face.
What? No.
You're like, Wisconsin. Oh, this poor woman.
But you're in Hawaii now,
I am,
so it's like, well,
it's okay. You're like, I don't feel so bad for you.
yeah.
Right?
I mean, you just can't be talking about the Packers on this episode, though.
I don't even know what they do. So I'm fine with that, yeah. I don't know sports fans.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Well,
I support whoever you support.
got it.
Yeah.
Do you find that? Have you ever been involved in like watching sports or
No.
paying attention to sports?
I have
okay.
no interest. Yeah.
What are your hobbies?
Well, if I go to sports thing, I'm there for the food. But my hobbies are real estate. Basically, that's my life. I like to go to seminars, conferences. I am really into personal development and hanging out with my best friend, John,
Who's in the back over there?
who is in the back.
What's up, John?
Hey, John.
He's hanging out.
Yes.
Yeah, I kind of tease. It's like, hey, okay, pull up another mic and get John on too.
Oh, no teasing at all. John is
Somewhere-
ready. You can just push me to the side and John is there for it.
So let's talk about your. So you said you're really into real estate, and that's
Mhm.
your passion,
Yeah.
your
for
hobby,
sure. Absolutely.
everything.
It's my life. Yeah.
How long have you been doing that? And
About as long as you've been doing this podcast.
2.5 years,
actually.
almost, yeah?
Yeah. January 2019 is when I got my license. Started really full time in March. That's been my life ever since.
what got you into real estate?
Long story. Can I go into the whole story?
Needed money, so I got.
Not even. Well, of course I needed money. Who doesn't need
Yeah.
money, right? So basically extreme poverty and interest in wanting to change my life. So my husband and I moved back to Hawaii after retiring in Florida. He medically retired from the military and we were living in Hawaii, couldn't swing it. He's like, hey, babe, let's go to Florida. It's just like Hawaii. And I trusted him. And I was like, yeah, okay, I trust you. Cool. Like cheaper Hawaii. What do you know? No, it's not at all like that. So we moved. So after living in Florida for a bit, we bought a house. It was not a great investment, not a great asset. And we moved back to Hawaii, one-way ticket with our 3-year-old at the time. We packed one suitcase among our whole family, put tenants in our house, put everything we had in storage, just brought clothes to come live. So we found out a few days before we landed that I was actually pregnant with our second daughter, which wasn't planned. I'm pretty much allergic to pregnancy. I get this disease, like literally, I get a disease called hyperemesis. So I throw
Oh.
up 15 to 20 times a day
What?
and I can do nothing but to live in Hawaii. I needed to work, right? So too bad. No one wants you. I couldn't even go to a job interview and know that I wouldn't puke the whole time. So I was in the hospital almost every day. My 3-year-old would follow me around with a bucket and be like, Mommy, puke, puke. That's all she knew of me for like an entire year, right? So, oh my gosh, those times were crazy. So I was an Uber driver as much as I could, like to make $20 in a week. I was like, okay, cool, food money, that was helpful for us. And then I kind of just stayed on my phone because it was my only connection to the world. I was so sick. I couldn't get out. We didn't know anyone, didn't have family. Everyone we knew had been gone, right? So scrolling on Facebook, I started to follow this real estate agent and I was like, oh, it looks cool. Looks like a good lifestyle. And I think my husband said, hey, like, why don't you try it? And I was like, okay, all right, let's do it. Let's see what I can come up with because, no traditional job is going to fit right now. So I did my pre-licensing course with ealy, finished that up. And then I took the test after I had a newborn. So literally like, had a newborn studying for the test, my baby screaming, but thankfully I wasn't throwing up anymore. So that was great. I was like, okay.
When you keep talking about throwing up, the movie scene that comes to mind is Wayne's World.
Yes.
When Garth.
That's what it looked like. Yeah,
it's like,
absolutely.
hey, if you're going to spew into this.
Exactly. Like my daughter, like puke here in this bucket. So after I had the baby, started doing real estate really fully. She was like 8 months old because it took me a few times to pass the test. And finances were a thing for us, right? So it takes money to get in real estate, which we had none. We actually had to skip our mortgage payment a couple of months to just afford it. And that was our mainland house, right? So our only priority was getting our rent paid every month and then feeding us. And the paycheck never lasted till the end of the month. So we were always, trying to find like bread and literally like bread and water just to make food. And I didn't realize there were resources out there. So what my husband and I would do is go on Facebook Marketplace and all the military pages. And if anyone was moving and they're like, hey, I have this food, I have these spices, I don't want to just throw it out. It's not like I can travel with it. We're like, oh yeah, we need the spices. We'll come over. And they would give, one lady gave us like 2 chickens and rice. And oh my God, like that was just life-changing to be able to have food, for at least a week or so with the kids. So that sprung me into action, into real estate, started my training. I was selling stuff just to have gas to be able to get there and then be able to afford to eat, like while I was in training in Kapolei, driving from IA every day. So that's ultimately how I got into real estate.
What's the long story?
That's a long story. Yeah,
No.
That's a short version.
No.
There was some pain in between, but we're good.
Well, like pain points. Like pain points is one of those things that people don't realize when you hit it. That's when
you take
everything
action.
starts turning on.
Right, absolutely.
And you lose fear about failing.
Because you've already failed.
F it. I'm going to do it.
Exactly.
Because I got nothing else to do.
Exactly.
If I don't do something, like my kid's
life
not
is
going to
stay the same. Exactly.
We're going to starve.
Big pain point.
We're going to get kicked out of the house. We're going to be living on the street.
Exactly. And I had to mentally become okay with homelessness. I'd be like, we'd be okay,
Wow.
like as long as we could, eat. Like if we have to do that, at least we'll have each other. And, I have been through some tough times in my life, so I kind of pretty resourceful. I would figure it out for us. But sometimes that sounded better than having to worry to be able to feed the kid. So yeah, I had mentally accepted that could have been our future.
So once you got into real estate, how did that change your life? Did it change it immediately, or was it
almost immediately? Looking back, and I hate to glamorize it and be this rags to riches story, like, oh yeah, she just got lucky, she made it, she hit it, it was immediately easy. Not at all. Like the first few months, I would take clients out on showings. It's hard to get clients. I didn't know anyone here. I'd meet someone at the Navy Exchange, and then they would be interested in buying a house. I'd maybe take them out, and then I would get not the best feedback of like, oh man, I'm not going to pay $500,000 for a condo. And I'm like, that's how much it costs here. But then I had spent all my time and gas and resources on this person, only for them to not ultimately purchase. So, and I told my husband, I'm like, I'm sorry, this is just not as easy as you thought it would be. You had no idea. Please just don't put all this on my shoulders. Like I just don't even make it. It's really hard. So, and then after that, I learned how to prospect, how to find people, qualify them, make sure they're a good fit. So I was spending all my days that I wasn't in training prospecting. So it's like I almost went from 0 to 5 clients overnight.
Well, let's talk about prospecting. What do you mean when you're talking about prospecting with the real estate realm? Yeah,
sure. So for me, Facebook is my main thing. Doing attraction marketing, using copywriting and words to get people to want to talk to me. And basically what I would do is go add people on Facebook that look like they're interacting with Hawaii. Maybe they live here. Maybe they're coming here in a relocation group. I think everyone has a real estate problem. I can help them solve, right? So the more people I know and the more people know what I'm doing, it's eventually going to come to me. So actually someone who I would consider one of my best friends now was my first client, and she had actually posted on a page. She was like, hey, does anyone know of any rentals in Eva? Like our lease is coming up soon. And I added her and messaged her, and probably 50 realtors are like, hey, I can help you, blah, blah, blah. And realtors in Hawaii don't really do rentals, right? It's not a thing. And I definitely was just seeing like, oh, maybe I could help her and like create like a long-term, relationship. And then we just hit it off, and she's hilarious and awesome. But that's how I ultimately found her. And she said that she chose me to be her agent because she knew that I cared about her, and she could tell within like our first few interactions that I wasn't there to just sell her a house and leave. That was my first client. Another one contacted me on Facebook. I was just talking about real estate, and she was like, hey, I found this, on Zillow. I actually have a house to sell too. Would you be able to help me? Another one sent me realtor.com. And then another person I randomly added from a Facebook ad. They've become pretty good friends as well. It was like Sky Al Moana, some kind of new development project. He tagged his wife, and I just added him, and he comes in my inbox like, hey, we're actually thinking between renting it versus buying. We don't want to waste your time, but would you be willing to have a call with me and my wife? Of course. So I go from 0 to 5 escrows within a few months.
Nice.
Thank you.
So how has social media impacted the real estate industry?
Oh my goodness. Sorry, I haven't known it before. But
I'm sure you hear like the old school people talk about it, right?
No, you're right. Like the MLS books, apparently the MLS used to be a book that came into the office, updated maybe once a week or once a month or something. And there's just, to me, the most efficient way to find people who are a good fit to work with you is through social media. I mean, you can cold call, you can door knock all day, but people don't like to be sold to anymore. They want relationships with their professionals, whether that's doctor, attorney, therapist. They want to know you as a real person. So with that, I think it's changed the industry in a big way of kind of what you're expected to be. And you're not expected to be just a salesperson. Like I look at myself as a consultant, a friend. I'm here to support you. I'm not there to sell you. I don't consider myself a salesperson at all.
Right. Because through that social media relationship that you build with everybody that's on there, now they're looking at pictures of, your family, what you're going out to eat,
Exactly.
where you're going on vacation or just going to the beach, or all the stresses that you're going out going through at
just
work.
like they are. Absolutely, for sure.
And then you're seeing the same thing on their side, and that totally breeds a whole new level of relationship.
Sure. Absolutely.
That just wasn't there before.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, like the podcast thing, like I do a lot of that same kind of thing with getting guests and stuff like that. And it's just meeting people.
Yeah. And then hearing their story, and, people want to talk, and you humanize yourself, and you get to know each other. And it's just amazing how I don't know how I would have had friends back in the day without social media. I was always the weird kid, I mean, I wasn't like super liked now I can find people who are like me or who do like me and filter through the ones that don't. Like, okay, they delete me, whatever. Cool. Otherwise, I would just be a loner,
All right. Let me ask you, let's get some hard questions here. Is there a movie that you can watch over and over and over again?
The Pursuit of Happiness. Yeah, for sure.
Is that your life that you're living right now?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely.
That is such a fantastic movie. And I don't know, if you don't cry by the end of that thing, there's something wrong with you. No,
totally. Yeah, for sure. Or if it doesn't inspire you to just like get up and hit life, just go get it.
What does he tell his son when they're on the basketball court? Don't let anybody stop you, even me.
Yep. Absolutely.
His kid is like 6 years old or something like that, or 8 or something. Yeah. He's telling me, go after your goals. Don't let anybody stop you. Even me, your dad. Yep. I love that, because it's like, our parents can have that kind of effect sometimes where,
your goals aren't important. What are my goals for you are more important?
Well, but they're also like, even in a good way with how they were raised and the traditional
culture is everything. I mean, the way that
the traditional careers that they had that were successful. Absolutely. They went to college, they got a job.
Don't take risks.
Right.
Absolutely. Yeah.
They were able to pay a mortgage, buy the cars. Buy
it's
the
not a negative thing. Yeah.
Right.
It's just, this is what they know, and they don't want to see you on the other side of that. So the safe road is what they usually try to encourage.
Right. It just really doesn't work anymore. With, like, the cost of college, the inflation, how much money you make when you get out. It's like, so many people are in college debt, and it's like, it doesn't pay off sometimes to go to college.
No. I mean, let's think about ROI before we pick a career. Yeah. If you're going to start a business, you're doing market research. Like, what is the market for this? What am I doing? College is the opposite approach. Throw money at it and figure it out. And you can find out you've gone to college just to pay back the debt that you took to go there, which is the most ridiculous thing to me. Personally, And I do love education. College wasn't a good fit for me personally, but there's also a whole generation of parents that are saying, "Hey, go to college," that don't have bachelor's degrees. But they saw everyone around them who was successful. They're like, "Okay, if you can do that, you're not going to have to work like me. You're not going to have these struggles." It's just a different type of struggle.
Yeah, that's not the same thing anymore. Going to college does not secure you getting a career that's going to
Right.
pay off
Absolutely.
and have a successful lifestyle and
Sure.
livelihood for you and a family.
Absolutely.
It doesn't. Like you get
No.
out of college and nobody hires you. It's like, what?
Yeah, you're like,
hell?
what? I just showed you that I can do this,
Yeah.
and now that means nothing in the workforce, but it's required.
I mean, even as far back as 2001, 2002. When did I finish college? Yeah, around there.
Mm-hmm.
I had a college degree, criminal justice, and couldn't get a job.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
I got a job as
How was the
out of
economy back then?
security.
Wasn't that like the height of the American dream? 01-ish?
It was after 9/11.
Mm.
So no, not necessarily.
Okay.
We were still kind of reeling.
Okay.
Yeah,
All right.
we still were.
Okay.
Because I moved back in 2002.
Yeah. How did that affect? I mean, I was in like 5th grade, but
Well,
did it have a
tourism
major
just,
effect
like,
in
got-
tourism and banks and financial institutions
Yeah,
as well?
obviously not as bad as like shutting down during a pandemic, but
Yeah. Yeah.
it definitely impacted. I came from
There's a lot of fear.
Well, I was going to college in Las Vegas.
Okay.
So I was in Las Vegas at the time of 9/11, and when that happened, like hotels shut down, the airport shut down. People tourists stopped coming
to the U.S. And Vegas.
or to Vegas,
and probably any
people were
major
scared.
cities. Yeah, people didn't even want to go to
People
major
were scared
malls.
to
Yeah.
spend their money. They were scared.
Right.
They were scared to get on airplanes. You know, all these kinds of things.
Sure. So similar to now times, right?
Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, but we have so many more options now with
I think
the internet.
Well, exactly.
we have the
The big
internet.
difference is
Yeah.
the internet. Can you imagine trying to have the shutdown without the internet?
No,
You couldn't.
no. Well, it wouldn't have lasted that long.
It wouldn't.
No,
Homeschool or remote learning,
no.
distance learning,
Yes,
not a
you're right.
thing.
Totally not.
Working
a thing.
from home, not a thing. Like,
Yeah.
no. The internet is a double-edged sword with that.
Agreed, for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, so I couldn't get a job out of college other than working security at a bank.
And I'm sure everyone told you, go to college, you're good, you'll be good, get a great job, benefits, pension, the whole thing. Pensions don't even exist anymore. They're like not even a thing.
They're hard to come by unless you have to work for the government, right? You
I
have
don't
to
want
have
to work for the government. I'm so glad.
It's kind of.
Thanks for being willing to do so. I'm not willing to work for the government.
I can't wait to finish working for the government.
Yeah, so that's one way. So you can always join the military, and that's what I tried to do when I was 18. And I was 3 pounds overweight. After I learned like college is expensive, I'm gonna join the Air Force. So I was too fat. They tried to get me on a diet, and I just gained weight. So I really did want to, and that didn't work out for me. And then I got into hard drugs. Hard to do, join the military after you've had that. And I really think in a way that would have maybe helped me, set me straight. Maybe, I mean, it could have also triggered me, but that's what I wanted to do. And I should have done it right out of high school if that's how I was going to do it. But I was on Adderall for ADHD. So they don't really like people with those kind of history, which makes sense. But I was never meant for college. I mean, if you would have told me like, sales is a job, you can make money and you can have a good living, I would have like, let's do it now. Like, I'm ready.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Anything rather than school.
Well, did you do any kind of sales before getting into real estate?
So when I was 17, and I say real estate is my first real job ever, like as a professional and as an adult. But when I was 17, I used to sell teeth whitening things at the mall. So I worked at a mall kiosk, and I was the youngest one there, and I would like help my mom with bills and pay her rent and stuff like that. And I was the #1 salesperson selling teeth whitening packages, and they walk up to you, say, hey, I'm like, sell them on the product. And I got really good at that and actually got a cash bonus. And I was like, oh, I like this better than like whatever other people do for work. I loved that. So that was, I mean, if that counts as experience, it wasn't a very long gig, but that's when I realized like, oh, I can talk to people. I can sell them things that help them.
Yeah. I think selling stuff is the ultimate moneymaker.
Yeah, nowadays.
Either things,
absolutely.
products, services,
Right.
something.
Absolutely.
You're
You're always selling something. I mean, even if it's selling yourself, to a job, like, on an interview. Yeah. Life is sales.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I did. we talked a little bit before we started recording about Gary Vaynerchuk.
Yeah.
You like him? What's your favorite quote from him? There's like a million of them.
I have a T-shirt and it says like, "My life sucks too, no excuses," or something like
Nice. I
that.
love that.
Yeah, right.
My life sucks too.
And that's me summarizing. It says something probably smarter, but it definitely has a cuss word. But yeah, there's just the whole philosophy of Gary Vee. What's
Yeah.
your favorite quote?
So I've shared this on a couple of episodes too, but he tells this lady who comes to his car window and is like, "Hey Gary, can you give me some life advice?" He's like,
Yeah.
"You're gonna die," and she's like, "What?" And he's like, "You're gonna die."
Yeah, we all are.
So what are you gonna do about it?
Right.
Like, are you gonna wait till you die to start doing stuff, or are you gonna wait till you're old? Or are you gonna start now?
Yeah.
Like,
for sure.
Do you know when you're gonna die? You don't know when you're gonna die. Like,
Right.
Start doing
Start now.
stuff. Yeah.
Okay.
So I love that when I heard him say that, and, a little TikTok video and stuff.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God.
So inspired right now.
Yeah. You don't know. You don't know what's going to
Yeah.
happen. So
I don't know how everyone doesn't live like that, but I've never had a safe life, so I can't relate to like, oh, I couldn't leave this job, couldn't do this thing. But for me, it's like it's all or nothing. So, I mean, if Gary Vee would have existed when I was in high school, I wouldn't have finished high school.
So, do you fear anything in terms of life and your goals? Is there something that you're scared of or that has held you back before?
I fear being poor again. I've already been there. If it happened, like I could certainly do it again. I don't want to not be able to afford to feed my kids, and that's the only thing that scares me.
Nothing else.
Not like that, no.
Yeah, that's awesome because that's
Thanks.
like primal, right?
Yeah,
That's like
it's very basic.
that is a
yeah.
very basic. Like
That's
I
fine.
need to make sure. I mean, you can go all the way back to cavemen. Like
Yes.
I need to make
feed
sure
your kids,
my kids
keep you young.
eat.
Yep.
Therefore, I'm going to go hunt lion. It's like
Totally. Yeah.
you're going to do what?
And in sales, you kill what you eat,
Right.
or you eat what you kill. Yeah. So you got to be out killing to bring it home for the family. And
Yeah.
for me, that's just cultivating relationships. I don't have to hurt anybody. I don't have to kill anybody. I'm there to let them know, hey, you can make investment. Yeah. When you're ready, I can help you. When you need to sell, when you need to make a move, think of me.
I think too many people are they're just scared of either losing their current job or not being able to pay certain bills or whatever.
Sure. Totally.
And
And
yeah,
that would suck.
it's hard.
That sucks. What's the worst that could happen? You
Right.
have to be homeless? I mean, that
I mean,
does kind of.
That sucks.
I've been homeless.
Yeah.
There's life after it, for sure.
Were you homeless here?
Never.
Okay.
Yeah, in Wisconsin.
Wisconsin. That must have been cold.
It's cold.
Jesus.
Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it's like to be homeless in a northern city.
I mean,
where it's
people in Madison will break
be outside,
windows.
you can die.
You can literally die just
Right.
by existing in the outdoors. So there are some, like usually around that time of year, I'm sure, like the police thing, they'll break into a building or punch a window out so they can get arrested and get a meal and a place to sleep. That's not
so they
prison.
actually do try to go to
They
get
commit
arrested.
crimes to be arrested. Yeah.
That's so sad. And
Right.
I mean, similar things happen here, not as much, but at least here in Hawaii, and maybe that's why we have so many homeless people coming from the mainland, is that you're not going to die if you're just outside.
No.
The weather's not going to kill you.
Mm-hmm.
Even if there's a hurricane,
Yeah.
you can survive outside.
For
It's
sure.
going to be windy and suck,
Yeah.
but
It's going to suck.
you're
for
not
sure.
going to
Yeah.
die
Yeah.
unless something hits you.
Yeah. It can kill you. I mean,
Right.
just being outdoors. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, there's none of that.
Mm-hmm. It's more like the lifestyle that goes with homelessness that is toxic, right? Like, I mean, addiction and just like primally, people form in groups, and then just being stuck in like this is all you're ever gonna be. There's nothing more than that. Let's just live day to day. If we can feed ourselves, that's good enough. And that's what brought me down the most with like being in poverty in Wisconsin, is never knowing like, hey, you could get a job. Hey, you could do this. No, you don't have to be scared of everything and not being able to find a way out of toxic abuse. And I mean, there's more out there. And it took finally meeting my husband to see that there was, a life for me.
Do those experiences make you more sympathetic to current homeless people?
Absolutely. Yeah, because that could be me any day. I mean, you can lose everything overnight. So sure. Yep. But then also in a way, in my Gary Vee way, like stop feeling sorry for yourself. You know, like everyone's life sucks or has been through something. And there are some people who had real trauma and just seen like awful, horrible things. And there's a place for that. And I think we could do more as a society to help those people mentally. But just the whole living, like I'm always a victim and, you know, life's been hard on me. Like, fuck that. Life was hard as hell on me. I was a heroin addict before I, you know, even could go to college. Right. So yeah, fucking get over it and go work. And you'll be happier with the rewards from that.
Start selling stuff.
Sell some shit. Post it on Craigslist, Facebook Marketplace. Just start flipping a couch, like whatever it takes.
Or I don't know. I mean, there those guys that steal like the catalytic converters and go recycle those. That's not what we're talking about.
Don't steal. You don't have to steal. You can do this in an honest, ethical way. But yeah, if a crackhead's going to out hustle you today, then you suck, basically.
That should be a t-shirt too.
Yeah,
don't let the crackhead out hustle you.
Mm-hmm. They're going to get their crack no matter what. You can make enough to get food. So many opportunities out there. No excuses.
No excuses.
No.
That conversation took a left turn.
We're going deep tonight.
Crackheads.
You should look up to them because at least they're getting their fix that day. And you're just sitting there, you know, eating your basic ass meal and like, oh, life is so hard. Could be worse.
Mm-hmm.
Get your kill. You want to have $1 million. You want to have a mansion. You want to have these things. Find your way to do it. No one's stopping you.
Don't sit there and wait for it to come to you.
It's not going to come for you. Anyone who's gotten anywhere is work their ass off or taken a significant amount of risk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Have you ever been told by people that you're lucky?
All the time.
How do you react to that?
I usually say thanks. Like, I don't know how to even take that. And then I'll be like, dude, they have no fucking idea. Is it okay to swear on your podcast? Can you edit that
I guess.
I'm sorry.
For all the 7 people that listen, yes, no.
Hey, all 7 listeners, we hope that you like my swearing.
You're not the first to swear. You're not going to be the last.
Okay.
But no, I feel the same way when people say, "Oh, you're so lucky to have this. You're so lucky to have this. Oh, you have all this stuff and these things going on." It's like, "Oh, you're lucky." It's like, dude, I worked. Yeah.
Also, who started a podcast for me? Like, I'm the one who got to work. I got the shit. I found the way. to get people to be on it. Listeners, I mean, my God, that doesn't just come to you. You have a full-time job. It's not like someone was like, hey, you're going to do this. You're going to do that. I'm going to set it up for you. Like, no, you hit it.
Guys, I'm not at home watching TV all the time.
Exactly.
Like, I'm doing stuff. I'm working.
Yeah, I know, right?
Like,
TV's a treat.
Do you know how much Super Bowl I watched?
None. Yep, same. I sat in open house.
Not even the halftime show.
Yep.
Granted, I was actually working, but.
Oh, yeah, I have no idea what happened. I have no interest in sports.
I think, the Rams won at the end.
Oh, I thought it was. Oh, okay. I guess someone did tell me that at the end of it. A client who's a fan is like, I'm recovering my voice from the Rams winning. And I was like, yes, go sports fan.
Okay.
Someday I would love to be that passionate.
So I love watching highlights and stuff. You know, I watch hockey. I know you're from Wisconsin, so I'm a big hockey fan. So, but I can't watch full games. I don't have the time. You know, some of these games are 3 hours long. It's like
I might be too simple, but I just don't want to watch sports at all.
That too, right? Like even the Olympics. The Olympics is going on now. And, okay.
I could play a game. I could go play volleyball. I could learn a skill. I mean, you know what? If I'm going to watch something, I want to watch like a murder mystery on Discovery ID. My husband calls it the Rape and Murder channel, but I find it enthralling. I'm like, why are people like this? Why are they creepy as heck? Like, why does this happen? That is... Do I do it every day? No, like maybe once every 6 months. So I sit down, I watch a full episode.
That could go deep.
Yes.
Do you believe that there is evil in the world? Having gone through all the things that you've gone through in life, do you believe that evil exists?
Like true evil? No, I don't think so. No. I think people are mostly good. I don't really believe in huge extremes. I think most things are nuanced.
Interesting. I was watching a thing, probably on TikTok. I don't know. I watch a lot of crap. After going through it, I don't sit down and watch sports.
I know, but what do we all do?
Watch
we
little
scroll
tidbits
on
of
social
stuff.
media. We
totally.
all do the thing,
I do it for learning, right?
And
but
we're enjoying it.
They're talking about how evil, in their point of view, that they were talking, evil exists, but not to the extent of someone is completely evil. People have evil tendencies, or they have evil. There are time frames in their life, whether it be 15 minutes or 30 minutes or a year, where they're being evil or
For
evil has
sure.
overtaken them and stuff like that.
Right.
It's like, oh, that's deep.
Yeah. I mean, you can have a dark time, and thinking about those movies, it's like, yeah, but like that Chris Watts guy, like the family annihilator, like, is he inherently evil? What he did was awful, but probably not. It seemed like he mostly lived an honest life and something just overtook him. But I don't know if it was always lurking.
Evil overtook him. Nah.
Must have something. That still freaking crazy. But stuff like that, I'm just always trying to figure out a puzzle. I'm like, okay, how would this happen? And being from Wisconsin, I was always very interested in serial killers, like Ed Gein, Jeffrey Dahmer. Read a lot of books on that. It's just fascinating.
Why, were they from Wisconsin or
Yep.
something? Oh my God.
Oh yeah, all the major ones for sure. Where else would they be from?
I don't Montana, South Dakota, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Okay.
And John Wayne Gacy, the clown killer, was like Chicago area, so pretty close to Wisconsin.
Yeah. Wow.
Only one that was pretty notorious that wasn't was Ted Bundy. I think he's from Washington.
So if you're from warm climates, you're pretty much not going to be.
You're not going to be.
It's like Hawaii doesn't really have serial killers.
No need.
We have murderers here and there.
Yeah, but they do like one.
Yeah. Yeah. And then they're stupid and they get caught.
Yeah. There's something about the cold. Yeah, totally.
This drives them crazy.
Yep. It's lonely.
So do you
and before social media, did people do we still have serial killers legitimately?
I don't know.
I mean, Jeffrey Dahmer basically.
There's so many other things you can do besides go out and
like you can
people.
go on Tinder. I mean, I just feel like there's more options
to do other stuff.
Things. Yeah. Weird stuff, and it's like it's okay, whatever.
Run for governor? I don't know.
Yeah, that sounds like a weird idea. Like me when I was like, oh, I'm gonna be in the government. I'm like, okay, cool.
It's like,
it entertained me at the
moment. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, I want to help.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's good to actually want to do something like that. Then you can actually start to put your feelers out and see, hey, is this something that I really want to do? Because I'm going to try it, but then, there's so much other stuff that I'm not really passionate about.
And you got to just start
to do it.
To get there. Yeah, to see it. And you can find your way just doing stuff. Like, oh, okay, that's not my thing.
Well, how much of a network did you create when you tried to run?
Oh, none. I just talked to people in the elevator.
That's creating a network.
Okay, sure.
Right?
Yeah, I never talked to them again, but I did meet a couple senators and I went and spoke to them, and that was good to have. And you know what? There was some networking involved.
Yeah.
And if I had a chance again, I would kill it and I would totally do it and I would sell myself and I would do great, but different phase of my life. I wasn't super motivated then. Yeah.
Yeah, because it's like, what was that quote I heard? I love quotes. There's a freaking gnat flying around. Your net worth
is your net worth.
Yeah, was it
work
Gary
is
Vee?
I think that's an old quote. Your network is your net worth.
Yeah.
I feel like that is one of those classics, but we can Google it. But that's completely
It's great
true.
stuff.
Yeah, absolutely. And now in real estate, like I pretty much just try to be around the people that I want to be like. If they have a good energy, if they're successful, if I feel I can bring value to them or they can to me, I just try to be around them as much as I can. And if that means like paying $10,000 to go to a conference and see someone speak, and just the fact there's people in the room willing to invest a couple grand into themselves is worth it enough for me. And I talked to a lady the other day. It was actually National Association of Realtors event in California, and I was out there for a real estate mastermind, and then I saw NAR was having a conference, so I stopped by. I thought I'd meet some people at my brokerage, and she's like, I see that you quickly figured out just to pay to get into the rooms you need to. I was like, yep, absolutely.
What does Gary Vee say? Show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Love that one.
Love that. Yeah, so true.
There's definitely like hang out with the people that you want to be like. Don't hang out with the people that
you don't want to be like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because then you'll end up like whoever you're around.
Naturally, for sure. And I want to hang out with people in a good mood that have like a generally positive disposition. I mean, my friends are going through anything, I'm of course there for them. But generally, I like people who look on the bright side. And that's the same way I run my business. If someone's going to be involved in my business, they need to be a Pollyanna. Like always feeling like, okay, well, what is the positive of this? Oh, not like, oh, I'm so overwhelmed. This is so much. Like, okay, well, what can we do? What process can we create? What can we do to bring joy to our life today? And what can we do that's fun and interesting?
So what are your future goals for like the next 5 years, the next 10 years?
Okay. So
professionally.
Okay, professionally. So I want to have a real estate team. Basically, I mean, I guess I would be like the head of it. My team is called the Kelsey Charles team, but that's only because an agent who I once had on my team said, people already know your name. They're like, just use it and it'll help all of us get more business, right? It's like, okay, we'll do that. Not that like I'm self-involved, but she was like, oh, that makes sense. I couldn't think of anything else. So I want to have a real estate team. I want to grow a community of real estate agents and lenders that I can help with marketing, empower them, just a strong network, and especially in Hawaii where we can help each other grow. And I am a big believer in my company as it grows and hopefully grows well. I want to recruit agents into my company, and that's passive income for me. And then it's value for value. I can help them with their business. If I help them with their business, their revenue goes up, mine goes up. Good for everybody. And then I want to have a real estate course, whether that's like one coaching course or a series of courses. I basically want to be able to sell what I've created on social media and teach other people how to use that. And then I also want to own a lot of real estate.
Define a lot.
I mean, 1,000 doors, like commercial complexes. I want to create a sober living community on Oahu. So I am networking now, hoping to learn more about it. Something that would have helped me at one point in my life, but like a sober living with a different outlook than the traditional programs that are out there now. And that's what's on my radar right now, is getting into sober living. I don't need it for myself, but like, you know, other people who are kind of there in that transition, I'll be there coaching as a mentor. And they can see, hey, there's more to this. Like, no, it's not just your AA counselor who, you know, respect them, but they still work a $12 an hour dead-end job. Like, hey, you can be all this. And it's like just to open up that reality that your life can change is if you try.
I really like that you're trying to dive into helping other people with your business.
For sure. Thank you.
Because that's where you can find the most success, you know, when you're not selfish about your business.
Yeah, totally. Not at all. I try to help other people as much as I can. And one of my favorite salespeople, Zig Ziglar, said, you can become massively wealthy helping other people get what they want. And just focus on helping other people get what they want. You're going to be fed. You're going to get what you need and what you want.
Yeah. I mean, for anybody that hates Jeff Bezos, it's like, dude started out selling books to people online.
At his mama's house, too.
Out of his, with that little sign, cardboard sign, Amazon.
I don't know why anyone would hate him. I think he's goals and amazing entrepreneur.
Yeah.
I mean, that might be controversial to say. I mean, any business that scales is going to maybe have some controversy, right? I mean, maybe not the happiest employees, but it's a numbers game. There's always going to be people that don't like you, right?
Yeah. Because it grew from like nothing to an empire.
Scaling is hard. Empires are hard.
20 years.
Right. And there's nothing in luck about it. It's like you have to put yourself out there. Imagine just dealing with the press and publicity every day. That guy can't have a life. He made a sacrifice to be that big. And I don't understand why people are like, oh, he needs to pay more taxes, you know, tax the rich.
I'm sure they're paying a lot of taxes. Amazon pays a lot of taxes.
I pay a lot of taxes, so I can only imagine. Yeah, I don't think people have an awareness of how taxes actually work. But yes, we all have to pay them, and it's massive.
Yeah. No, I don't like the high taxes on businesses and stuff like that. I think it stifles business.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep, that's libertarian in me for sure.
Totally. Mm-hmm. It's like, why would you charge a successful business owner so much more in tax revenue or in taxes to stifle his business when he's the one who found the formula for success?
Right.
And if he can find that formula for success, he can bring other people up.
Totally. Yeah, a rising tide lifts all boats.
How many millionaires did Amazon make?
Oh my goodness. Yeah, and regular people. Yes.
Too many. It's like Jeff Bezos and the Amazon platform has created more millionaires across the world than anything else.
So right. And how much value you're just bringing to our life, my life, your life, getting soap.
And
like
how much
in a
more
couple days?
Shit are we buying that we don't need because we can just click and scroll and I want that and buy it.
Absolutely.
Like whereas, especially living in Hawaii, like we can't find all these things. We have to have them shipped in.
We have so much more access to things because of Jeff Bezos.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like no, dudes. Yeah.
He's good in my book.
He's good.
Yeah. I'm sure he's really considered our opinion.
The platform is pretty good. Everybody else, yeah, let's go. Or just, I don't know, government, stop spending so much money.
Yes. Also, I prefer Amazon doesn't get into real estate. I really respect and admire the profession. And I know so much of the tech community wants to kill real estate agents. And I don't think that's best for the consumer.
How would that happen?
I mean, so we have Zillow, which has obviously massively failed to get rid of the need for traditional transactions. They tried to just buy direct to consumer. Consumer buys straight from Zillow. I think they lost almost $1 billion trying to do it. A lot of people think real estate is easy. You show up at a house, you open a door, you maybe write a contract, you fill in some blanks, and then the person gets their house. And there's so much to it that it cannot be done in an app. I mean, it's such a human process. It's like, would your counselor be in an app? You know, your attorney, like this is a very human interaction. And because of real estate agents, I believe we have the liquidity in the United States and the marketplace that we do. In other countries who don't have real estate agents the way that we do, maybe they only have sellers agents or buyers agents. But with how many real estate agents we have great liquidity in the marketplace, which allows you to liquefy your asset quickly. And if we're replaced with an app, or the amount of stress, and if the pay goes so low that the stress is no longer worth it, then I think, you know, the field will be dead. And I don't think that that's best for consumers.
Because I mean, I guess an analogy would be, you know, the car sales too, right? How you have car salesmen, and you need car salesmen less and less.
Yeah. And so people say that, like, you know, travel agents book your own vacation. But I always think there's a use for travel agents too. It just depends on the level of service you want. Do I know how to go to Santorini and get there the best and most efficient way, and what to do and where to eat? No. I mean, I could Google and do that. But if someone's responsible for my experience, they're going to step up their game. Car salesman, sure, I can buy a car, click online and do it. But how does I like to go to a salesman to say, like, okay, this is what I need. This is kind of what I want. And people to push me to do what I want. Because if it's just there online, I probably am never going to click order. I need the human to be like, Kelsey, you need a car. Here I go. But I think it would be interesting if car salesmen were more like advocates than salespeople. And any good salesperson is an advocate. But if you could hire a representative to broker your car transaction, just like you could hire a realtor to broker your home sale transaction, that would be very interesting to see the industry change. But yeah, I mean, I think of us as consultants in the biggest sale purchase of your life. And it's very emotional. And there's a lot of that involved that people rarely see.
Not like a car. And the other thing is, like, when you buy a home, the value usually increases. You buy a car, it's like as soon as you buy it, it starts to decrease.
Exactly. Well, not right now. Not with COVID. I mean, it's like true. These things are just like insane. Yeah,
they can't manufacture the microchips and stuff fast enough.
Right. So John and I went to test drive a G-Class the other day. They don't let you test drive them anymore. A year ago, they were like $120,000 because they don't want to put the miles on it. Somebody will buy it over asking without even touching it. So no need. These cars were $120,000. They're now $140,000 with the markup. And you have a cash premium of $75,000 you have to pay. You cannot finance it because it's literally just the markup. It's just the extra added. And people are shipping them from the East Coast because our markup is $75,000, and most of the mainland for G-Class Benz right now is about $100,000.
It's a freaking car.
Yes, and they're pretty dope, but not that dope.
Does it drive itself?
It does not, and it takes premium gas. So when they become electric, like, cool, okay, I'll get one. I mean, I kind of see them becoming like the Hummers or the original Range Rovers, you know, the ones that are just complete tanks and they're classic. Yeah. I think these cars will be fossils in no time. But maybe because of that, they will have, you know, they will be an asset and have some value.
I can't wait for self-driving cars.
Almost there.
I'm kind of wondering if, I don't think our grandchildren will drive.
Yeah.
I think they'll be driven around.
Yeah. That's so weird to think like, but still the mainland doesn't all have great infrastructure. What if they're in like a cornfield in Iowa? And
I think the technology will
it'll handle them
improve
getting stuck in the mud. I mean, there's so many times I've been stuck in the snow or the ice, and yeah, Yeah. I'm like,
Because you
"Oh,
just
what
like 15 years ago, we didn't have cell phones.
For
or
sure.
These smartphones,
Totally,
right?
totally.
And now freaking kids have them. Everybody
You're
has them.
right. Have you driven a Tesla?
No.
So I had a friend who worked there, and he used to let me borrow them all the time. And it's interesting. So when the car gets nervous and doesn't think it has the capabilities, or it doesn't want to make the human decision, even though you're on auto drive, it automatically makes you take over. It says driver assist, and if it's a tight parking spot, something like that would have liability, human comes in. So I'm interested to see
Can
how
you
that
like
works out.
set what it says to you? Like, Daddy, help! Daddy, help!
I'll let you know when it
I don't know,
comes in
something
April.
stupid.
I hope so. But I mean, you can have like a dog mode where you can leave your dog in the car. It locks it up. It keeps the AC on.
Oh, I thought
You
the
can
car would
blink
just
and
follow you around.
I mean, ideally.
Dog mode.
That'd
It's like you put your phone
be
in
really fun.
you put your phone in airplane mode and throw it.
Yes.
Doesn't do anything.
Love that. Oh my
Falls.
gosh, because I don't want a real dog, but I want a dog that is fun to play with. Yeah.
Well, because I was watching this video on electric cars and self-driving cars, and they would say like, well, like it would take you to the mall or to work. It would drop you off at the front, and it would go park itself. And then when you're coming out, you just tell it that you're coming out on your phone app or whatever. It would start, come out of its stall, and meet you at the front. And you
That
just
does
get in
exist.
And go.
Yes.
It's like, that's crazy.
My neighbor has that, and my daughter's like, Mom, why are we poor? Like, we don't have a car that picks us up. And
Oh, fuck.
my neighbor just comes around, and I'm like, oh, sorry. Yeah, and they're like, oh, we got our third Tesla. I'm like, great, thanks. You're making me look bad.
Mom, why are we poor? We don't have Jarvis. Like, no, Jesus. One day it'll just be common,
Yeah.
And
For
I think it's coming faster than we think, because technology is just rapidly.
For sure. And I
increasing.
mean, that's the concern too, right? Is like the way that Elon Musk talks about how he thinks the biggest threat to humanity is AI.
Yeah. Terminator. It's right there.
You're right.
But it's not necessarily Terminator. It's also like taking over the workspaces and stuff.
Right.
And killing jobs.
Right. Do we need a universal basic income because of technology?
Yeah. Maybe. I think the conservative platform is, no, we don't need that. You need to go work. But
what if there's no job?
The more you progress in technology, it's
Sure.
like, well, now you don't have a job. And you can see that in some government work where we've introduced like digital platforms for citations or report writing and stuff, where in the recent past, we would have actual people looking at those things with their eyes and typing it in to a computer system.
Yes.
Now it's all digital. Those people don't have a job anymore. They have to find something else to do.
I mean, that's great. I really wish you guys would just send me my ticket. Like, hey, don't even pull me over. Like, okay, I got you. Like, take it right on my account, auto pay. Oh, the Tesla will actually order your car part for you if something needs to be ordered, and just like automatically take it out of your checking account. So,
but even like, it makes you think, like self-driving cars, what happens to law enforcement that patrol the streets and stuff if like all the cars are
maybe
just
it'll be in
self-driving?
hovercrafts.
Well, you wouldn't need to monitor or
but not for traffic reasons.
You wouldn't be giving speeding tickets to self-driving
and what if we
cars.
need to speed? What if we're like, frick, I gotta go to the hospital, we gotta go 88 miles per hour? Like, what's the law there?
Where we're going, we don't need roads.
Did Austin Peterson say that?
No.
Okay.
Doc Brown said that.
Okay.
Back to the Future. Yes.
Never seen it.
Who are you?
Barely watched. Sorry.
Okay. Go back.
Not into sci-fi. Is it
Back
sci-fi?
to the Future 1, 2, and 3. It's sci-fi, but it's great. 80s classic Americana.
I wouldn't like it.
You never know. 'Cause, I think Back to the Future 2, they go into the future to 2020 or something like that.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and they have hoverboards and all kinds of holograms and stuff like that. And we don't have any of that shit.
You know, honestly, I used to read those magazines like in the future this is going to happen. Pizza still takes way too long to get to my house. I heard in Chicago that they're going to have like hovercrafts go drop the pizza. People used to talk about that in the 90s, but we're still not as far as I thought we would be by now.
They're starting to have drone deliveries for some things in some countries and
Okay,
stuff.
but what about pizza?
Yeah.
We have made no
like
progress
Pizza
here.
Hut drone.
It's the same way.
Drops
They
it
come
off.
in the car. There's got to be a better way.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we still.
Well, yeah, that's true. But you can order it from your pocket, or from the thing that's in your pocket, from anywhere.
I'm not impressed. It takes 40 minutes.
It still takes 40 minutes. Okay.
It could be better.
You got to live closer to a Pizza Hut.
I
than-
try. I always try to be close to a Pizza Hut or a Taco Bell. But when I buy a house, I'm like, okay,
Where are the
Starbucks.
Pizza Huts?
Exactly. Or Taco Bell.
Where can I get coffee first thing in the morning?
Yeah, that's
like how
seriously,
far away?
I didn't consider that enough. And I used to live in Kaka'ako, and I love living next to coffee shops, but so many of them have shut down. My favorite place was Mocha Java, and I actually used to work there, and it was in Ward warehouses. And now we just have all these bougie places with like, who needs a $400 t-shirt? I can't
Ugh,
understand.
I hate those.
I miss the old Ward warehouses.
Even like a $60 T-shirt. I'm like, no.
No.
T-shirts are like $10 to $15, maybe $20.
Right. I mean,
okay, if it's a good Star Wars logo, like $30.
sure,
but
that's too much. You could get that used. Yeah.
I see some T-shirts. Yeah, we'll get used T-shirts. Sorry, I'm not doing that.
Oh, me and John went shopping today for used shirts.
Nice button-up shirts.
Yep.
Okay, I got those.
They were
but
$7.
That's
They
a
didn't
deal.
have a bag.
That's a steal.
Was.
But yeah, I've seen some shirts that were like $200. It was just a T-shirt. I'm like, dude, this is just a T-shirt.
Clutching my pearls right now.
Yeah,
Yeah, I don't understand that, and I don't think we need more of that on
Branding.
Oahu either.
it's branding. Oh, it's his brand. It's like, who gives a freaking
Somebody does.
frick?
Somebody out there cares, but
Don't
why do they only
care.
have 4 and their salesperson is just sitting there waiting for customers to come? It's ridiculous to me, and
Or Chanel with those $20,000 purses.
I can't imagine.
It's a bag. Does it drive? No.
Right.
Does it fly? No. Well,
It's
why is
the
it
brand,
$20,000?
The brand.
Is it
the brand.
gold? No. Well, then what the frick?
And
Is,
some of them do go up in value.
is it like
and
made from baby calf leather? I don't know.
that's illegal.
Maybe that would be $20,000 worth.
It would
It's
be
black
more.
market.
Yeah, that's probably. It's like, oh, this is very chic because it was a baby calf. But no, I mean, some of those go up in value. They're like actual collectible assets, and I had no idea. But still, my kids would screw it up, and then I have no asset.
It's a bag at the
Yeah.
end of the day. It is
All
a
mine are
bag.
knockoffs. I've never had like a brand name.
Yeah. I can see like, okay, a couple $100, several, maybe, Louis Vuitton, couple $1,000, 20,000 for a bag.
See, I can't even say 3.
purse.
I have a knockoff. People think it's real. I'm like, no, I don't really do it. I don't need real one.
I have a bunch of backpacks. That's what I got.
Yes.
And Pelican cases. I started buying.
What's
I got
that?
one of those. The hard case, the suitcases that are like plastic and they have all the foam inside. You put camera gear and stuff in.
Oh, okay.
Keeps everything nice and secure.
All right, sweet.
Yeah. I mean, you can't take that with you to like the store and stuff, but
Sure, but it sounds cool.
you can keep your shit really good and secure.
Yes.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's what I was looking at.
I really want a Hermes bag. I
Hermes,
just
yeah.
or the Birkin or whatever. Like I don't want it, but it just when I look at someone they have it, I can tell they're expensive, and I'm like, oh, that would be cool. Just for a day, I want to try out, see how great I feel about myself.
Give the person a test drive.
Yeah, just like the G class that they wouldn't let me.
Yeah.
I just want to try it. Just rent it for a day. Hey, that might be my next business. Is rent the rich lifestyle for a day. Like you can get a jet, you can get a Hermes, you can have a G class just one day and flex on the gram. Can you imagine
But
How
how much
great-
would that cost?
per day?
Yeah.
Let's say $5,000.
So would you have to be rich first to get
No,
that lifestyle?
you wouldn't have to be rich at all. You
Okay.
could do it for influencer, your photo shoot or something like that.
Oh,
Think about it.
yeah, that would be a good one.
Rent a lifestyle, take somebody out. I mean,
So
Or-
not just the car, but the whole
thing.
shebang.
exactly.
That's not a bad business model.
Right? The house, all the things.
Yeah.
And maybe just try it out and get it out of your system so you can go back to doing your your crazy fire lifestyle or something,
Until you find out that really sucks, and I want to go into that
Yeah, or
make money business kind of thing. So,
totally.
yeah, because it goes back to show me your friends, I'll show you your future. Well,
Right.
if your friends are all the people that make $20,000 a month or more,
Yep.
it's good stuff.
For sure.
All right. Well, we're closing down on this. Do you have any words of advice for our listeners out there?
Who would our listeners be?
People that like to listen to podcasts from Hawaii.
Okay.
That like to listen to real podcasts from Hawaii.
Okay. If you want to.
Demographic. Male, female, 50-50, about 35 years to 50 years old.
Just life advice?
Professionals. Yeah.
Just cultivate your relationships. Hold your friends near and dear. Choose the people in your life wisely. That works across the board. There's a lot of toxicity with one person. Doesn't matter that your family, they're your friend. I mean, they have been forever. Cut that shit out and go live your best life because that's going to affect you more than you'll ever realize. There are better people out there. There's positivity. Go find a new friend. I mean, if you're being brought down by someone in your circle, you have to decide whether or not that's worth it for you.
That's huge. I love that.
Thank you.
Get rid of the toxics.
Yes.
Cut it out. The cancerous people around you.
Yes. And
Yeah.
don't be toxic with them. A lot of toxic people, they want you to jump on their train, and there's no need for that. There's so many people that are like have sunny, optimistic dispositions, and it's not like sickening. It's like if you're around that, you're gonna live life differently. And I tell people that move to Hawaii, I sell a lot of houses to military people, and I'm like, there's a big difference between people who buy a house and get committed to a part of the island and kind of find their own local lifestyle versus those that just, standard like go on base. And I understand some people here are short term or they have to, but big difference between the people who hate Hawaii and the ones who love it. And there's usually the ones who invested, not just in a community, but in their future and the way that they look at life.
Huge.
Yeah.
All right. I want to thank you so much for coming on Hawaii.
Yes.
It's been great.
So great to
Great
meet
conversation.
you. Thank you for having me.
All right. And as always, hey, check her out. She got a YouTube channel.
Yes. And Instagram, Realtor in Hawaii. Realtor in Hawaii.
Realtor in Hawaii, one word.
Yes.
On Instagram.
Yep.
All those will be in the link all those links will be in the description.
Awesome.
Yeah.
All right.
So thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you.
been great.
Yes. Thank you so much.
All right, everybody. As always, stay happy, Hawaii. Got 30 shockers at the camera.